Alright, well, this is going to be another blog. I've decided to do a third one already. So, yeah, let's talk movies. And I'm going to show you some of my favourite movies, alright? Well, starting with this. Who remembers this? Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Must have in your movie collection. I just think it's an amazing movie. You know, drag queens going into the desert. The comedy is just off the wall funny in it. One of the best movies I've ever seen, and when I saw it was on Blu-ray, I thought, yeah, I've definitely got to have that movie. So yeah, you cannot miss it. The next one is The Dark Crystal. I grew up with this movie in New Zealand in Christchurch, and it's always stayed with me to this day. I think it's very powerful. It's just got, you know, good and evil, but it's got a story to it. And, you know, at the end when Kira's dead in his arms and he holds her, I'm just like, oh my God. But it's, you know, and she comes back to life. It's phenomenal. It's one of the best movies ever. My next one is A Nightmare on Elm Street collection. It's 5-disc set, Blu-ray disc. I have to say, horror movies have been with me all of my life. I love horror films, absolutely fucking love them. But when I first saw the original Nightmare on Elm Street, it really creeped me out. It had me on edge. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so scary. But then when I started watching the rest of them, like Dream Warriors and Part 2, I developed this love for horror movies, so they don't really scare me. It has to be a very realistic, true story type of horror to really freak me out. So I'd have to say Freddy Krueger is definitely a favourite of mine. He's the bomb. He's a cool horror villain. Also Hannibal Lecter, can't forget him. He's also a cool one. Norman Bates, Leatherface. You know, Jason from Friday the 13th, you know, they're all awesome. So when I think of horror, I think of a lot of good old and sort of recent films. Well, the next film I've got here is the 70th anniversary, Gone with the Wind on Blu-ray. I think it's one of the most touching movies I've ever seen. It's got emotion, it's life. It's about life, and it's about, you know, Scarlett O'Hara, who, you know, about her life in the Civil War and who she falls in love with and the man she can never have. So I can totally relate to that. I'm like, yeah, it's like you get the man, but oh, how come you can't fucking have him? It's frustrating, right? Of course. So I totally relate to that movie, and I also relate to the bit where, you know, she's like just standing there in the fields all burnt out and there's nothing but like this, you know, I think it's like a potato or something in the ground, and she picks it out and spits it out, and it just says this really amazing line, and the Technicolor in it even's a masterpiece. Sort of the color changes, like 1 minute it'll be very like bright at the start and then it's like very like dark, but you know, with all, you know, like motion picture photography, you know, you have to get your scenes right, the colors, you know, amazing what those people do, very talented. So I recommend Gone with the Wind, definitely one of the best movies ever. You're all gonna know this next one, The Wizard of Oz. So this is the 70th anniversary Blu-ray edition. Looks stunning in high definition. Have to say the Technicolor is mind-blowing. Can only compare it to Thief of Baghdad, which was made the year after, and the Technicolor, and that was stunning as well. But The Wizard of Oz has stayed with me. Like, I first saw it when I was about probably 8 or 9, and I saw it on TV when I first moved to Australia. And it's just always stuck with me, and I can relate to Dorothy Gale. You know, at times I felt vulnerable, you know, I've cried, I've just, you know, so I can really relate to that character. And, you know, Judy Garland in that movie, she's just incredible, you know, one of her best performances ever, I say, out of her filmography. She's just incredible, but the tornado looks so realistic. And yeah, I was just blown away. It's always touched me, so that one's forever a favourite. Next movie. Yeah, Return to Oz. which is the 1985 sequel. It was made by a different company, Walt Disney. Still spewing it's not on Blu-ray, but hey, this kid can hang out for it. Return to Oz was the first Oz movie I ever saw, and it just blew me away. It was dark, it was scary. You know, you had this lady that changed heads, Princess Mombi, and you know, all those cabinets. I remember the screaming heads, you know, scary shit. The Wheelers, you know, if you've never seen it, you've got to see it. So yeah, I just thought I'd share a few of my movies there. I'll definitely have to share more with you again, but yeah. So sort of the genres between horror, science fiction, comedy, musicals, you know, I love all sorts of movies, so I'm very open-minded when it comes to film, and it's even better when I've got friends to watch them with, which I love watching movies with friends, you know. They make sure you're okay when you freak out in the most horrific scenes. Yeah, so I thought I'd share that with you, and hopefully this video doesn't run out before I stop it. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good week, and I'll definitely be back with more blogs. And sorry I haven't shaved, I look a bit, I don't know, I just look a bit sort of washed, so definitely got to have a shave. I've got to colour my hair, and I've got to look spiffy again, or okay again. Yeah, is that the one? You know, or as Dolly Parton says, you know, keep up like a show dog. So that's what I've got to do, keep my appearance up. You know, she looks better than me, by far, definitely by far. Anyway, bye.